What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down for you exactly how I go about EQing a vocal, specifically rap vocals, but this will work for any type of vocal. It's just the process I go through. I use FAB-FILTER, but if you don't have FAB-FILTER, you can mimic the exact EQ moves that I make in any other EQ. It doesn't matter, but I will be using Pro-Q4 from FAB-FILTER for this. And I have this session pulled up here, and all I did was pull up a record track and a beat that I made. You can also get this beat on my website here in a few weeks. I'm going to be having a beat section up on my website, so you can go check out my beats. But so basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record a vocal on the beat, and I want to do it over a beat for a specific reason, because you want to know how to, you want to EQ the vocal to the beat. Like, you can just EQ a vocal, and yeah, but if I show you how to EQ the vocal to an actual beat, it'll probably be way better. And not only that, but we're going to make the vocal on the spot. So you know it's not the most perfect vocal. I'm going to be rapping into a mic over here in an untreated room. It's going to be boxy, and it'll be a perfect vocal for us to work on for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my mic from the mic I'm talking to in right now to my studio mic. I'm going to turn my output up on my gear, and I'm going to record a bar and then, or two, just simple, and then we're gonna EQ that, and I'm gonna pull a FabFilter real quick before I mute the mic here. So we have this gear right here. I'm just turning the output up on there. EQ's already in where I like it. Everything's set up, ready to go. Just gonna record the vocal, and I'm gonna be shutting this mic off real quick, and then you'll hear me through the other a little more. And before I even add that EQ, I'm gonna add one here just to get that background noise out of there. Now you can only hear me. Yeah. What? Yeah. 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 Lil' Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck. Alright. That's not the point. The point is the EQ. Okay, so we got a vocal here. We're not really trying to we're not trying to win a Grammy here. And the first thing we're gonna do with this vocal is we're gonna roll off the low end. Anything up there around here, so just check me out. Talking about. So all this information coming down here, all the way up to like right here. This is not useful information, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. When you play it, like there's volume there that you can't hear. It's just taking up headroom. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll that off. So we'll find the spot that's nice. I normally end up using an 18 dB octave curve. Some people like 12, some people like 24, which is this one. But I'm just going to start rolling off the low end, and we'll exaggerate it first just to show you, and then I'll pull it back. Lil' Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck. So like right there. Lil' Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck? So like you can hear where it's like kind of perfect. It's like right around here. It's cutting off everything under 50 right here. Like to a lot, and then anything from like 100 over to 50 is getting pulled down a lot, because you can see the curve right here. This stuff right here is still being pulled down right here. All this is being pulled down until right here, and this stuff is being left alone. You get what I'm saying? So that's rolling off the low end. So for the second notch, we're going to be looking for the boomy frequencies. And the way that I like to do that, using FabFilter, of course, you could just hit the headphone button and scan for it, and you can kind of hear it. But if you can't even hear it, or you're using like a different EQ, you can always go like this. You can raise it up, and then you can go like this, and you kind of hear the boomy frequencies. And then you can kind of like pull it out however you want to pull it out. I'm going to show you guys how I pull it out though. So I'll make my the first thing I do is scroll the wheel until I have the cue that I want over here. I look at the cue first, and then the next thing that I do is I hold down Option, and I scroll down for a dynamic cut right here, and then I'll also adjust this as I'm bringing it down, and then I'll hold Shift and Option, and I'll double click this to make it a bit more squared off, and then I'll go looking for that frequency now with this on, and just like this, watch. and you can kind of barely hear it, right? The way that I go about EQing, right, is I pull down a dynamic band for every single band, and then I'll look at what the dynamics are doing on the band to decide if I still need it or not. So let me explain. I'm going to play this band. If there is words that I'm saying that aren't attenuating the band, then I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to leave it as a dynamic band. If it's coming down for every single word, then what that's telling me is that I don't need the dynamic band. I can just make the cut, the static cut, because every word is hitting that band. It doesn't matter to make it dynamic. You're just making the EQ work harder, right? So we'll listen to this band and we'll see what's going on.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck?
So I see that it is responding to every single word, right? So what I'll do is, in an instance like this where it's responding to every word, but it's barely responding to some of the words. Like some words, it's like rattling up there just a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll shorten this a bit, right? And then with the gain, I'll pull the actual static gain down just a bit. So I'm taking a little bit of it out altogether, because that's what in my brain that's what the most logical thing would be to do. So and then I'll play it.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck.
Cool. So it's pulling it down a bit more now. I'd pull this gain down just a little bit more, and then now let's listen.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck.
Okay, I like that. And the way the EQ works is, like, there's no like set bands that you just pick. Like, you just kind of go, like, you just make the next band and then you find a spot that sounds ugly. And remember, this is subtractive EQ first. We're always doing subtractive first. So I didn't barely have to move it right there. There's like a really harsh. You can hear what I'm referring to. I would just pull down the dynamics a bit, and then we're gonna make it dynamic again. Like I said, square it off, and then so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the frequency first, and I'm gonna center over top of it and make sure that I have just that frequency.
Lil Wapo back again.
And then, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look at the band and see when it's moving and when it's not moving.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about?
So there's like words that it's not attenuating. Like, if anything, it's like barely moving at all. So with this one, I will leave it just like this. I might just pull down the gain just a teeny tiny bit right there.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no dad. Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What?
Yeah, cool with that. So then we can move on to the next band, and you just kind of keep moving on, right? And I'm kind of just listening I'm like, use your human ear. Like, a lot of people on this app, they're going to tell you to look for like boomy frequencies and harsh frequencies. I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to show you what I'm listening for in real time, and then just like, you can tell when something's not good sounding and when it's not good sounding, especially when you're not over exaggerating it to hear it. So like, when you're doing this method right here, where you go like this, and then you drag this up like this, and then you go like this is wrong. This is going to make everything sound terrible. But if you bring it down here and you widen the Q a bit and you bring it down to a reasonable level, this is reasonable. You can find some bad frequencies. Like, you can distinguish this frequency right here from this frequency right here, obviously. Let's focus back in on this and make sure we have this right.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab.
And it's staying up for some words, so we're gonna leave that. Move on to the next one.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. Lil Wapo back again.
There's like one right here that I want to get. It's like a small one. We'll just take a look and see. I'm gonna make it skinny. I'm gonna pull this down.
Run up a tab. He don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What?
Yeah, like when I say dad, it didn't move at all. So we'll leave it just like that.
Lil Wapo back again.
All right, and let's move up here and find some of these. and you hear how I'm just like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And you hear how I'm just like using my ear, like I'm not listening for anything specific. Like a lot of these videos on YouTube, they're gonna tell you look for specific stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm just looking for things I don't like.
Am I even talking?
And I hear something kind of like,
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Fuck, am I even talking about? Fuck. Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. Lil Wapo back again.
be careful with this area right here, just because it's like where the presence of your vocals at. This is the one time where I will do the sweep method. For the high frequencies right here, I will pull up a frequency and I will listen for any sort of like whistling and stuff like that, and I'll pull that out. Like right there, and then I'll sharpen that out and then I'll listen again. Like right there is super ugly, so sharpen that all the way, and then I'll bring that down about 6 dBs and then listen again. And that's why I keep listening over and over again, because I found an even worse one with that band. So I want to use that one right there. I'm going to make that skinny all the way and then listen one more time. And pull that down to like 6. Cool. Alright, first we'll listen to it bypass and then unbypass.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad.
Alright, now on.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad.
Cool. Now what we would do next is level match that, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this up by about a dB, and then I'm gonna go back and forth here until it sounds level.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad.
Sweet.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad.
Might be doing a bit too much just because like it's for the video and I want to make sure I'm doing this, even though I have this EQ here and stuff like that.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab.
That might be more appropriate.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck? Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck?
Like right
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks.
Like now, we'll listen.
Lil Wapo back again.
That's with it on.
Lil Wapo back again.
That's with it off. It kind of like shooting through a bit.
Lil Wapo back again.
And then with it on.
Lil Wapo back again.
We could probably dial it back just a little bit, and then
Lil Wapo back again.
And it just kind of pulls that away from the front.
Lil Wapo back again. Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck.
Just sounds better in the mic, like it's kind of like melting in the mic. We'll leave it even like that, and then we'll go on to a tonal EQ, which it would be the EQP-1A is what we're gonna use because everybody has that one. And I'm gonna show you how to get some tone. We'll put some low end back in the vocal and some high end.
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck? Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck? Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab.
The next thing is this band. I normally like to make this a little bit broader. When it's sharp, it sounds, you're not doing the nice broad strokes. Think about it like that. So like if it's too sharp, you're not gonna be able to make broad strokes. Like you want this to be a tonal EQ. You don't want it to be surgically cutting stuff. You don't need broad anything in surgery. You need sharp stuff in surgery. So you make this broad, and then you can make it all the way broad. You can make it whatever. The way that I like to do the boost is I'll boost it crazy, and then I'll find which one that sounds the best, and then I'll dial it back. So
Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey, don't get no fucks. He don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck. Lil Wapo back again. He wanna run up a tab. Hey,
when I'm going for a type of vocal like this that's like not too harsh.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks, he don't even got a dad.
Alright, let's listen to the before and after with the EQs.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks, he don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck.
You see what I'm talking about here? And look, because we made all these precision cuts, it made the EQP sound so much better because it wasn't enhancing all those like poop frequencies. So lastly, the last EQ that I'll use is called Spectre. And what Spectre does is it pulls up a parallel dry signal of whatever. So when you pull up this high band here, it's not just pulling up the high band. What it's doing is it's creating a parallel track and it's saturating the parallel chain. So we can use this to make this vocal stand out a bit more. So we'll turn this on and we'll just give it a little presence right here.
Lil Wapo back again. Lil Wapo back again.
And because we did all them precision cuts first, we're good to boost a couple things here. You know what I mean? So like with this one right here, and also for these, let's go warm or tube. So like for the top one, we could probably do tube.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab.
Maybe still.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab.
Yeah, it seems a little less harsh. And then we'll use this mid one to pull up some 3K to 4K, somewhere where the vocal is like poking.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks, he don't even got a dad. What the fuck am I even talking about? Fuck. Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab.
That's another EQ, so let's listen before and after.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks.
And then after.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks, he don't even got a dad.
Just pulled that vocal straight out. So before.
Lil Wapo back again, he wanna run up a tab. He don't get no fucks, he don't even got a dad.
And then when you unbypass it, it's just crushing through that vocal. That is my approach to EQing a vocal. I keep it super simple. I work with these 3 plugins. I might introduce a couple other ones here and there, but that's like the main ones. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. If you guys want to check out my beats, I will have a beat section on my website up soon and ready for you guys to be able to get beats from me. If you guys want to check out my Pro Tools templates, you can find those on my website as well at mixedbyeddieofficial.com. You can also see them right here on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.